The Nomiki Show.
Happy 420 to everyone. You know, today is the day that we have to remind each other why legalizing marijuana is a top project for progressives and should be a project for everybody. It is not some get out of my weed garden appeal by aging hippies and libertarian tech tokeheads. Drug prohibition has been one of the most racially unfair, destructive, and ultimately counterproductive policies in the nation's recorded history of unfair, destructive, and counterproductive policies. Here is the very centrist Democratic governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, during his State of the Commonwealth address earlier this year.
It's also time to acknowledge ways that our criminal justice system treats different people unfairly. Marijuana is a great example. We know that while white people and black people use marijuana at similar rates, black people are 3.5 times more likely to be charged with a crime for it. And they're almost 4 times as likely to be convicted. That happens because that's how the system was set up generations ago. In fact, one of the early leaders of the Federal Drug Enforcement Agency was clear that marijuana laws should be written explicitly to target people of color. And so they were. And they've been targeting people for years. It's time to join 16 other states and make marijuana legal and end the current system rooted in inequity.
Now, we are not stupid. Clearly, a big reason why this major step for racial equity is moving forward across the country is that there are powerful commercial interests tied into it and lined up behind it. Governor Northam himself went on to explain that marijuana would rival tobacco as a cash crop if only it were legal. He had to turn it into some sort of conversation about capitalism in order to favor it. He said the quiet thing out loud, Mr. Virginia. Cannabis capitalism will not turn out any better than big tobacco unless we make it so. So repealing marijuana prohibition is only the first step here. We need to expunge criminal records for marijuana offenses immediately. We need to get rid of the federal laws that still make marijuana possession criminal. Those are the federal laws that conflict with the state laws. We need to guarantee that communities of color have at least equal access to the business opportunities created by legalization. And wouldn't it be great if that was roped into some sort of reparations bill, fair reparations bill? Better, let's make sure entrepreneurs and communities of color get disproportionate access through that reparations bill. It won't really make amends for what has gone down before, but it will help the future. And this is our next frontier on cannabis. Look at this map. 36 states and the District of Columbia have now legalized marijuana in some fashion. You can see here, some places have approved just medical marijuana, okay? 16 states right now say recreational use is okay. In some places, a market is well established. Colorado has more marijuana dispensaries than Starbucks. So that's like the right priority for me, at least. But other states, including recently Virginia and New York, have made cultivation, possession, and consumption legal without yet creating any legal marketplace to purchase marijuana. For New York alone, the estimate is that this will be a $5 billion business. So everyone is already trying to get a piece of that action. Lobbyists are popping up. They've been doing it for years, actually, pushing for this, gearing up, laying the groundwork, knowing that New York will inevitably legalize cannabis. California, though, is a cautionary tale of what can go wrong. An enormous gray market of unlicensed dispensaries have developed. There are monopolies pushing out smaller dispensaries. And many of these are in black and brown neighborhoods. As progressives, we need to fight hard to make sure the profits of legal marijuana don't just go to big companies who have the lobbyists, as I mentioned, to make the rules the way that they want, and then have the capital to push everybody else out. This should be our 420 resolve. Legalization is not enough. Fair distribution is essential. We have an excellent show today. Ben Dixon and Napoleon the Legend, who was that was the music that you were listening to. That was courtesy of Napoleon the Legend. We asked for it, and then he brought it so quickly. What an artist, man. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But before that, we have writer Amanda Chicago Ludis, who is going to share her reporting on cannabis around the country and what's happening right now with these illegal dispensaries that are selling legal marijuana, as well as other legalization efforts and how they're evolving around the country, the ones that we just mentioned. We'll be right back right after this break. Thanks for watching and listening to The Nomiki Show. But remember to click like and subscribe on YouTube, and please share on social media. If you're not already a patron, please join us for as low as $5 a month on patreon.com/The Nomiki Show for early and special content. That investment makes a huge difference. We are not corporate media raking in the dough. It's really you guys that are keeping us going. So please consider being a patron. And to our current patrons, thank you so much. We are incredibly grateful to you. We also now have swag. So check us out on thenomikishow.com to get your mugs, your totes, and your stickers.